As this is both a CIPFA and ICAEW process, any questions that we cannot answer, we will take away and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So a bit about the dual membership. So in 2024, CIPFA and ICAEW launched a dual membership offer, and this enables CIPFA qualified accountants to gain the ACA designation and vice versa. So this has allowed members to access further career opportunities, again, and this is in both the public and private sectors. So for this, today we're looking at this accelerated route. So the accelerated route requirements are for CPFA members, where CIPFA is their home body. So this means that they've completed the full CIPFA qualification and have become a full member of CIPFA. And it's for those who hold less than 5 years of CPFA membership. So, for example, you've been fully qualified and you became a full member 3 years ago, then this is perfect for you. So the process involves passing the ICAEW's corporate reporting exam and passing a statement of intent with them as well. So some benefits of the dual membership offer includes the use of both bodies' membership benefits. So not only will you get all of CIPFA's membership benefits, you will have access to all of ICAEW's membership benefits as well. That includes access to the Chartered Accountants Hall. You also get to use both sets of designations, so the CPFA and the ACA. Wider career possibilities with the flexibility to work again across the both private and public sectors, and of course dual membership for the price of one. So in regards to the dual membership, as CIPFA would be your home body, you'd pay the CIPFA membership fee, and then CIPFA would offset a portion of that to ICAEW. So here is an overview of the accelerated route pathway. So firstly, you would register for the corporate reporting course with CIPFA, and then ICAEW would then send you a link to register as a student with them. You would then apply for and sit the corporate reporting exam, and booking windows open in May or September. And then you'd pass the corporate reporting exam. So exams are sat in July and November. Once you've passed the exam, you'd submit and pass your statement of intent, and you would submit your sponsor's letter of good standing. So in regards to the letters of good standing, what happens is, as a CIPFA member, we let ICAEW know that whether you're in good standing or not. If your sponsor is a CIPFA member, again, we can do that for them as well. So you and if your sponsor's a CIPFA member do not need a letter of good standing, as we can update ICAEW on your behalf. If, for example, your sponsor is with a different membership body, then they would need to ask for a letter of good standing from them. Because I know some membership bodies can take a couple of weeks to send over the letters of good standings, we'd ask that you get this in good time in order so obviously that the deadlines aren't missed. If, for example, your sponsor is CIPFA, then all that you'd say is when you're submitting your statement of intent, you'd just let ICAEW know that your sponsor is a CIPFA member. So for our side, CIPFA will confirm your status of good standing, and if your sponsor is a CIPFA member, we would confirm their good standing as well. You'd then make your ICAEW application for membership, and then you would be a dual member. So you'd be able to use the ACA and the CPFA designations, and you would have access to both bodies' membership benefits. So in regards to the web classes that CIPFA offer, they offer this course as a live web class in delivery partnership with an ICAEW partner in learning. So for this time round, the courses start on the 28th of March, and this is an introduction session for CIPFA students, which covers the content from previous ICAEW modules and the differences in the CIPFA and ICAEW exam approach. So in regards to web classes, they run twice a week from 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock, and all classes are recorded so you can catch up on them if you have to miss any of them. In addition, tutorials will be provided specifically for CIPFA students, and these are included in the tuition fees and operate at different times. Also, CIPFA students will be provided with foundation material covering helpful information on what is covered in ICAEW's previous modules, and this will be in a self-study format. And this is all included in the module cost. So in regards to the module cost, it is £2,394 and that includes VAT. And you can make payment using the direct debit across 5 or 10 months. We would just ask if you would like to utilise the direct debit option. We ask that you email us at membershipadmin@cipfa.org, so the email address that I've put in the chat earlier, as we will be able to book you on the course as a direct debit option. If, for example, you want to make payment straight away, then you can just do that on the website. That's absolutely fine. So in regards to the ICAEW fees, this is paid directly to them and it's a £320 student application, and that will also your statement of intent submission and then the exam fee of £215. So those payments are not paid to CIPFA, they are paid directly to ICAEW. So some further information. So students are responsible for booking and paying for their own examinations and the one-off application and membership fee directly with ICAEW. The exam booking window opens Monday the 19th of May and closes Friday the 30th of May at 5 o'clock. What I will say is that ICAEW's booking windows for exams, once it's shut, it's shut. So I know with CIPFA you can pay like a late fee to book their exams. With ICAEW, once that booking window is closed, that's closed. So it's important that if you do this module and are wishing to sit the exam in July, that take note of these dates. Obviously, we will also circulate the dates and like provide reminders.
Sophie, can I just jump in there? Sorry, just in terms of the window for ICAEW exams. The other thing just to note as well is if you're planning on sitting the ICAEW exams at a centre to sit it, there are restrictions on the number of people that can sit in a particular centre. So get in early is what I would say, because I've had students in the past who are based in Manchester who have had to go to Leeds or Hull to actually sit the exam if they've wanted to sit in a centre because they've been quite late actually booking. So get in there quick is what I would say.
Thank you. Advanced information is released on the 28th of May, and then the corporate reporting exam, or the next corporate reporting exam, will be taking place on the 21st of July, which is a Monday, and it'll be a Monday morning. And finally, so regulatory requirements as a dual member. So in order to maintain your dual membership, you're required to maintain your home body membership. So as a CIPFA member, if you were to be a dual member, you would need to maintain your CIPFA membership to maintain your ICAEW membership. If for any reason your home body membership lapses or is terminated, then the reciprocal membership would also be terminated. For CPD, you're required to fully satisfy both institutes' requirements. However, both CIPFA and ICAEW will be recognise any CPD completed with their institute. So in regards to, again, quick overview of the dual membership, you would pay one membership fee, which would be to CIPFA as your home body. We would then offset a portion of that to ICAEW, so you wouldn't pay any membership fees to them. And then you just need to maintain both bodies' CPD requirements in order to maintain that membership. If, for example, if you wanted to terminate your CIPFA membership in a couple of years' time, or hopefully you won't, but then the ICAEW membership would be terminated also. Now, we've provided some time at the end for any questions. We've got Kelly on the call who can answer any technical queries, and we've also got Sarah. So hopefully between the three of us, we'll be able to answer any questions that you have. So let's have a look. Has any come through on the Q&A? No, yeah. What we'll do, we'll keep this question box open for a couple of minutes. So please do feel free to ask any questions at all. If, for example, a question comes to you later, then please do send us an email at membershipadmin@cipfa.org as well, and we'll be happy to get back to you on that one as well. Kelly or Sarah, have I missed anything in terms of, or is there anything that you'd both like to add in regards to the accelerated route?
I'm not sure whether it'd be useful, maybe just for me to give everybody just a
Yeah,
bit of a high level in terms of the key sort of differences, really, and things like that, and things to just be
perfect.
mindful of. Yeah. Um. Yeah. First things first. We've obviously had a couple of cohorts of learners actually coming through with this program already. Sit for students or sit for qualifieds, and we've had really good pass rates. I am quoting now. I think it was 75% on the last sitting. And I think one of the things to just be mindful of is that this exam is different. Okay, the ICAEW exams are very different to the CIPFA exams. But that doesn't mean that they're any harder or not as difficult, etc. They're just different. And I think that's the key thing. And so I think for anybody who's actually making the shift from doing the CIPFA exams to the ICAEW exams, I think what you'll find is just the content and the way that the content is actually presented, which is very different. But what we do through the tutorials and also through your tuition is we give you the tools, if you like, and the mechanisms to support you through that particular exam. The issue you've got with corporate reporting, and I teach corporate reporting, so and I'll be looking after you for your tutorials as well, and I also teach PSFR as well, so bit of a weird one really in the sense that I've got both sides of it. Um, there's a lot of content with corporate reporting, and there's a lot of emphasis on financial reporting and also on audit as well. And it is a real mixed bag in terms of sort of technical areas. So there will be underpinning knowledge that you guys will need to be comfortable with, need to review, and also you'll have to sort of self-assess as well in terms of the areas that you think you're a little bit rusty with. But what we've done at CIPFA is we've actually provided you with some additional recordings and additional support to sort of fill those gaps in there as well. I often say to my corporate reporting students, it's about chipping away at the exam, to be honest. You know, it's you need 50% to pass, but there's so many marks available in this exam. You've got a real opportunity. So for example, the exam's marked out of 100, but there's probably somewhere in the region of about 140 marks actually there for you to have a good go at. So you might not be 100% on everything, but you don't need to be. That's the key thing. And what I do is I give you the tools, if you like, to sort of play the game in terms of corporate reporting and what they're really looking for, how they want you to approach things. But they're very different. The content is huge. You know, for example, a corporate reporting question could be 3 pages long. You know, so there's a lot that you've got to sort of absorb and take on board. But honestly, it's so commercial, the corporate reporting exam. It's one of my absolute favourites because of that. It really gets you thinking about the real world, okay, and how we as accountants need to approach things in the real world. So there's a lot about using your sort of professional skepticism. You know, I always say to students, you know, you need to sort of question everything and trust nobody in the corporate reporting exam. And it's about really getting under the bonnet of businesses and you know what the information is presented or how it's presented to you and that type of thing. So yeah, it's different. It's big, it's chunky, there's a lot going on in the exam, but it's doable. Okay, it really is, and that's what we're there for. We're there to sort of support you and help you through that process. So yeah, I mean, technically, if you've got any questions, then please do just ask in relation to the content. But trust me when I say you've got the support there to guide you through.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. And as we were saying before as well, all classes are recorded, aren't they? So if, for example, there's one or two that you can't miss, then they're all recorded to catch up. And again, if you wanted to catch up in your own time, so you've attended the class and you wanted to revisit that class, then you can catch
And
up.
also, I'm contactable throughout. Although I only do the tutorials and things with yourself, I'm there to, you know, answer questions or queries that you might have, just because of my experience of dealing with both sort of sides of it as well.
Brilliant. Thank you. Any questions in regards to it could be about the dual membership or about the course, about the content? In regards to, I'll just quickly touch on the statement of intent. So you will have a window to submit this as well. So in regard with the statement of intent, it's kind of like, would you say a case study, Sarah or Kelly, of reflecting on your prior experience? And there is a window to do this, so it's not kind of like you've got an hour to sit there and submit it. You do have a chunk of time.
Yeah, and it's probably just important to say it is marked. So it's not like sitting an exam in exactly as Sophie says, you're not sitting there doing your statement to do it and then submit it. So it's obviously not invigilated or anything like that, but it is marked by examiners, so it needs to be taken seriously. But it's not crazily difficult. It's reflective in its nature.
Brilliant, thank you. If you're in Africa, where do you sit your ICAEW exam? Is that would be an online, is it, I'm guessing it's similar to Rogo?
Yes, I believe you can take your exam online. You can go, you've got the option of going to a centre if a centre is near to you, but otherwise you're doing it online as you did with your CIPFA exams.
You can do it at home or anywhere, can't you? As long as you get booked in and choose which of those options you want.
Yeah, so a bit similar to the Rogo. I'm not sure if it is the Rogo platform, but it would be a little bit similar to the Rogo platform where you'd have the camera on and then live invigilators. Starting a new job in March, would I be able to sit the classes for and exam in November instead? Yeah, so you'd be welcome to sit the classes this time round and then obviously sit the exam in November, and that would be absolutely fine. We also try and run the session twice a year if there's obviously enough uptake.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Alex maybe means that can he take his classes up to the November exams? And so exactly as Sophie says, yes, in theory, although because of the time of the November exams, the tuition has to start kind of in the typical holiday period. So we have to start in kind of August time. So just being completely honest with you, it's never as popular a sitting. So people tend to use it a bit more, I think, for kind of resits. We plan to have a tuition to the November exams, but I just need to be completely open with you, Alex. We can't guarantee that. We didn't run one last time. We just had it to the June exams, and that was based on demand. So just to bear that in mind.
From the top of my head, though, I can't think that there's any syllabus changes due this next year. So if you was to watch the recordings from the June sitting, it shouldn't be too problematic anyway, really. And you also still have access to myself as well in that November sitting.
Well, so for example, if they were to sit this module running, how long would access for the recordings be? Could they have that up till November?
Yeah. So if someone decided to do the tuition sort of to the June exam, but actually not take the exam in June and defer to take it in November, you would still have access to all the recordings. We could see if there's something that we can do, as we did last time, actually, if we can enable people to take a mock near to the November exam, then that's what we will do. But certainly you wouldn't have any loss of the recordings or materials.
Thank you. So you're not sure the new role, if approved, to take time during to do the classes in post, so that's fine. In regard to doing the classes and recordings. So also you'd have the tutorials as well, so you could answer obviously if you've got any questions. There's regular content, so that would be fine. Regular content and contact, I should say. Any further questions? What I'll say again, just as a reminder, if the direct debit option is something that you wish to do, payments can be taken across 5 or 10 months. This is for the module content. Obviously, ICAEW's fees aren't included in this because that's paid directly to them. We just ask that you email your membership admin, just because we set you up on a system a little bit differently to get your direct debit set up. Payments for direct debit would be taken on the 15th of the month. And that can be, for example, even though obviously July is sooner than 10 months away, that's absolutely fine. You could still do the 10-month option. Any further questions? We'll keep it open for a couple more minutes. And again, if you've got any questions later, I know with me, my questions come about 20 minutes after I've attended something. So please feel free to email membership admin at cipfa.org and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Just well, we've got a little bit of time. I mean, I know we can just free up and everyone can get back to their work a little bit earlier. But I imagine that some people on the call may have done a little bit of research about corporate reporting and others perhaps won't. But sorry, Kelly, to put you on the spot, but is it possible just to give people an idea of the kind of the core themes of the module, the bits that they might be a bit familiar with, having gone through the CIPFA qualification?
Yeah, to be honest, the underpinning knowledge really in relation to CR, corporate reporting, is really the content that everybody will have done at business reporting, and also the audit modules as well. PSFR, not so much, because obviously with PSFR you're looking at the different sectors in there. With corporate reporting, it's two things really. Basically, what you're looking at is the application of standards. So you're looking at the international financial reporting standards, and a lot of them are tested in corporate reporting. To be honest, there isn't anything that people won't have seen before, but they might not necessarily have gone into as much depth as what we do on corporate reporting. So, for example, in corporate reporting, if you was looking at things like financial instruments, for example, there's a lot of detail on financial instruments that people will not have seen previously, but that gets covered in the tuition. So I'm not saying that you'll be in a position where you're going to have gaps in your knowledge by any stretch of the imagination. Just be prepared that you're going to be going a step up really in terms of what you've done previously on business reporting. Groups is another example. Groups is basically included in most questions in corporate reporting. Again, you've seen groups, but you've definitely not gone as far as what we do on corporate reporting. But again, it's covered in your tuition. So, there is these sort of steps up, if you like, in terms of knowledge and application. The other thing that's a bit different as well is the audit angle that you've got in there. Again, a lot more detailed than what you will have seen before. And so it's about putting forward your suggestions as to what the audit risks are, with those risks, what sort of procedures you would undertake in order to actually sort of understand those risks further, and also thinking about the type of testing that you would do. Again, that will be covered to some degree in your tuition, but the vast majority of audit is underpinning knowledge. So there might be some gaps in there that we might need to sort of plug. But the other thing I will say about the sort of audit side of things is it's quite, I hate using the words like common sense, but it's about understanding the business and then putting forward your suggestions. They don't have to be textbook answers. That's done. We don't want that with corporate reporting, actually. We want you to start thinking as if you're in a position of a strategic position within the business, or a strategic position within an audit firm. That's what they're actually testing. And the other thing that's very different is the advanced information. So you get some advanced information a few weeks before the actual exam, and then question 2 actually in the exam will be based on that advanced information. Basically, you get access to some data analytics software, which gives you 11 months worth of data about a particular business. What you then get on the exam day is you get month 12. So you get a full year's worth. And so what you've got to do is you've got to navigate that, and you've got to answer questions based around what the sort of key audit risks are and the concerns are associated with the business. But in advance, we as tutors get that information. And so what we do is we analyze it and sort of point you in the right direction and say, look, these are the things that we would expect you to be looking out for. These are the types of questions we expect to see. So that's very different. And I think a lot of people worry about that. For me, it's probably one of the easier questions, or easier parts of questions in the exam, because you've got the information in advance. Don't spend too long on it, is what I say. So yeah, so I would say it's technically it's difficult. It's a difficult exam. There's a lot of technical content in it, but it's not hard to pass it, because of the scope that you've got in there. So for example, you might not understand much on financial instruments, but there'll be enough in the exam that you can then pick up marks elsewhere, if you see where I'm coming from. So you don't need to know everything about everything.
Oh, thank you. So we've got what date does tuition start and what days are the classes are the full 6 hours per week than a normal CIPFA course would have. So I could say 28th of March is the intro session. So again, correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah and Kelly, that's covering content from previous ICAEW modules and the differences in kind of exam approaches. And then sessions are run twice a week from 3 till 6. Is it set days? We do have the timetable, so I can send it you across, James, after this call for
It's generally set days, but of course that time of year we've got loads of bank holidays. So where it's you know, a Monday and a Wednesday, for example, then we make some adjustments with the bank holidays. So there's a bit of change because of those bank holidays. But yeah, they're 3-hour sessions, and generally twice a week.
Brilliant. And then every so often you'll have a tutorial as well, which would be a third session, but dates I guess are confirmed closer to the time. Yeah, of course, I'll send you a timetable.
I think we've got the dates for the tutorials as well, haven't we, Sarah? They're all
they're all on the
yeah.
time. They're all on
Yeah.
the timetable.
Brill. Any further questions? What I will do is I'll circulate this PowerPoint presentation so everyone's got a copy. And again, I'll circulate the timetable as well. We are recording this session, so if you do want to revisit it at any point, then you can. We'll get this across. Please note, the recording can take a couple of days to get together. But again, if there's any questions at all, then please do let us know. Is results day also a different day to CIPFA? Yes, it is. Results for ICAEW.
6 weeks. 6 weeks after, yeah.
Brilliant. What we can do then as well, I'll add the exam booking results link for ICAEW to the email that I circulate, so you've got that information as well. And that as well will have the booking windows. Any more questions before we end the session? Well, thank you everyone for attending. We really appreciate you taking your time, especially this early on a Monday morning. So thank you so much. We'll circulate everything today. If you've got any questions at all, though, please do email us. If you'd like to book, and again, using the direct debit option, again, email membership@cipfa.org and we can help you with that. Yeah, and thank you all for attending. We do appreciate it.